have hemorrhoids and want to say goodbye to them in a natural way? Hello, my successful and healthy earthlings. Mihaela Gush here, Naturopathy founder of the Natural Health Podcast. Today, I will share with you natural remedies for hemorrhoids. At the end of this episode, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join our health and success oriented community by clicking below and joining the Natural Health newsletter. Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we bring awareness to sustainable health in the business hustle space. Natural Health Podcast is perfect for the high-performing business-minded individuals who want to work with their biochemistry to achieve success and optimal health. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for What Would I Do? In this episode of Natural Health Podcast, we discuss this week's question. All questions are kept confidential and I read and answer them as if it was me. Hence why it's called What Would I Do? The information provided is not to be taken as advice and is solely for information purposes only. I'm not here to cure, treat, or provide medical advice. I'm here to educate and inform you so you're able to take steps towards optimal health. Please discuss any medical issues with your healthcare professional. Let's get into today's question. Today's question says, I have hemorrhoids and it's really frustrating and annoying. Sometimes they bleed and I would love to know a natural way to finally get rid of them. You know, thanks for writing in, and you're probably not the only one. There's thousands of individuals here in Australia, millions all around the world, who may have issues with hemorrhoids. So you're not the only one out there. But let's have a look at if someone's like listening to this and they're like, what are hemorrhoids, right? So essentially hemorrhoids are swollen veins located around the anus or in the lower rectum. Around 50% of adults experience the symptoms of hemorrhoids by the age of 50. That's a lot of individuals. So half the population experiences some type of hemorrhoids by the age of 50. Hemorrhoids can either be internal or external. Internal hemorrhoids develop within the anus or rectum. External hemorrhoids develop outside of the anus. Hemorrhoids are also known as piles. So you would have heard individuals say, I've got piles, interchangeable wording. So either hemorrhoids or piles. External hemorrhoids are the most common and most troublesome. They can cause pain, severe itching, and difficulty sitting. And they are treatable, which is absolutely amazing news, right? What are some symptoms? Some symptoms are extreme itching around the anus, irritation and pain around the anus, itchy and painful lump or swelling around the anus, fecal leakage, painful bowel movements, blood on tissue after having a bowel movement. So a lot of individuals sometimes even get surgery from their hemorrhoids because they're so bad. A lot of women get them after pregnancy due to having the natural birth or pushing, straining. Individuals get it because they're constipated. So what are some other possible factors? It may be straining during a bowel movement, so having constipation. Complications from chronic constipation, sitting for a long period of time, especially on the toilet. Individuals who take their time to sit on the toilet and strain may cause themselves to have hemorrhoids, a family history of hemorrhoids, or even being pregnant. So let's look at some questions to ask yourself, right? Some of the questions to ask yourself is, when did they start? When did the hemorrhoids start? For some people, it may be when, like I said, when they were pregnant. For other people, maybe after they had a surgery or some type of surgery, they took pain medications and then they became constipated, and that's when the hemorrhoids started. Figure out when they started, what happened around the time. So like I said, either had surgery, you're pregnant, you were constipated. What happened around the time that they started? When are they worse? Are they worse when you're not drinking water the day before and you get constipated? Are they worse when you drink alcohol? Are they worse when you go on a bender? Are they worse when you're stressed out? And what makes them better? What makes your hemorrhoids better? Meaning they go away. Because if you have ones that go away and come back, if they do that, then what do you do when they get better? Okay. What is your diet like? So what does your diet look like? Do you eat a lot of fruit? Do you eat a lot of vegetables? Do you eat a lot of meat, a lot of cheeses, a lot of packaged foods, a lot of takeaway? Are you constipated? Do you struggle with constipation? Have you struggled with constipation your whole life? What is your relationship with your bathroom? I know it's a weird question, but what I mean by that is, when you feel like you need to go, are you like, oh, I don't want to go, and you look at the bathroom as a negative, or you try and avoid it? Do you get the urge? Do you get the urge to go to the bathroom? Is there a connection, right? Is there a connection between the mind and the body where you actually get an urge to go, or do you not get that urge at all? Do you eat enough fiber? Again, back to your diet. Do you drink enough water for yourself and your exercise is what you do? What is your job? Do you sit? Do you sit a lot? What is your bathroom habits? Do you sit on a bathroom for half an hour every day? Do you strain? Do you exercise? Are you a weightlifter? Do you lift a lot or lift in regards to your job? Are you obese? Have you had any complications? Are you on any medications at the moment that may cause constipation or issues with hemorrhoids? And how long does it take you to actually empty your bowel? How often do you go to the bathroom? All of these questions are to be asked. Has anything ever happened to you in the bathroom so you don't look forward to going to the bathroom and eliminating? Okay, so what would I do? Okay, if I had hemorrhoids, the first thing that I would do is review my diet. Okay, why? I would review my diet to ensure that it is not filled with processed junk food and it is high in live food such as fruit and vegetables, organic fruit and vegetables. Okay, I would ensure that. That means that I would ensure that I have enough fiber, that I'm eliminating properly, and ensure I have enough water for what I do. So I'll take into consideration, do I exercise? Do I not exercise? How much do I sweat? And so forth, to understand how much water my body needs. I would ensure that I eliminate my bowels every single day, at least once, okay? And ensure that the consistency, the color is always the same. It's more like a sausage. If you look at the Bristol poo chart, bowel chart, it's more like a 3 or a 4 number, and it's more of a brown color. I would use, it's actually interesting because yesterday I did an episode on a product, and the product was in regards to straining. It was kind of like a poo week I did, yeah, which is really interesting because I would use a toilet stool because, as explained in that episode, we are made to squat to go to the bathroom. So you would either try squatting or you would use a toilet stool to assist you with going to the bathroom, because that's how we are supposed to eliminate. We're not supposed to sit on the toilet to eliminate, right? We're supposed to squat to eliminate. In addition to that, sometimes if I had current hemorrhoids, sitz baths are amazing, and you can look them up or work with your healthcare professional to understand what to put in them, what not to put in them. Herbal tinctures, they are doing wonders. I have prepared so many herbal tinctures for individuals that have helped their hemorrhoids go away within a few days, some within a few weeks, forever, and they haven't had hemorrhoid issues, which is absolutely amazing. So we need to look at the tissue around there, looking at the vein structure and improving that tissue and vein, making sure that the minerals and vitamins are there, making sure that the elasticity is right, and there's no swelling. So an individual who may have varicose veins are maybe more, which I didn't talk about, maybe more likely to have hemorrhoids because there's a whole vein tissue issue. Interesting. So talk to a naturopath to understand what herbs to use and get these tinctures because they're absolutely amazing and it can help with hemorrhoids straight away. Right, so these are some of the things that I would do if I had hemorrhoids, understanding also why I have them and working on that. But exercising is absolutely key also, right? But yeah, talk to your healthcare professional or naturopath who can get together a herbal tincture for you to assist you with the structure, the tissues, and the veins structure to assist with your hemorrhoids. But there are ways to overcome them naturally, and they can work, and you can say goodbye to them, which is absolutely amazing. I hope that this shed some light to any questions that you may have in regards to this question, hemorrhoids. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at mahela.raguz on Instagram. I'll be in touch with you and hopefully feature your question on a Natural Health podcast. How exciting. And if you want to be part of a success and health oriented community, click below, join the Natural Health newsletter, and you will be provided with discounts on products, with service discounts, with information that's only available through the newsletter. These are the bonuses. This is the material that guests give to me that I interview, and I only give them out on the podcast newsletter. I do not give them out on this podcast while I'm talking or on my Instagram. I give them out in a newsletter. So you may actually be missing out on so much valuable information, so many discounts, and such amazing services if you have not joined the Natural Health newsletter. Remember, the missing link between failure and success is your health. content and information provided here is opinion of Mahela Raguse and is for information purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is not intended to provide medical advice or take the place of medical advice or any current treatment you're undertaking. Consult your own medical professionals for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast. It is advised that you consult your doctor or healthcare professional in relation to any health concerns you may be having. Mahela Raguse does not take responsibility for any health consequences which occur from a person listening, viewing, or reading this content. And in no circumstances shall the Natural Health Podcast, Mahela Raguse, any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Mahela Raguse be responsible for damages arising from the information provided on the Natural Health Podcast. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical conditions in either yourself or others. Please note, if you're taking prescription, do not stop your medication or start a new protocol, including but not limited to supplements, diet, lifestyle changes without consulting your doctor or healthcare professional. If you or any person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical advice. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have read or heard on the Natural Podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. Neither Mahela Raguse nor the publisher of this content takes responsibility for the possible health consequences of any person or persons reading or listening or following the information in the educational content.